Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I am Mara, and I'm here to present you Parallax. So, in the United States, almost $1 trillion gets spent on R&D pretty much every year. However, there's a big problem. About 50 to 70% of these results that are performed on this money never see the light of day. They stay in hard drives, they stay in physical lab notebooks, they can never get used or reused by other scientists. So, there's this infrastructure and no way to reuse the results. Other industries have solved this problem, like software has GitHub, data has Snowflake, but science doesn't have any alternative. That's what we're here to help with. Now, Parallax at its core is very simple. When a scientist gets some kind of experimental data result, they can upload it to our website, set their parameters, and then other scientists can discover and use the result to build upon and move progress forward. Now, if we zoom in, there are a few very important value propositions here. Parallax saves research, first of all, time and effort. It is very efficient with AI integration. It's also very intuitive for upload. And one other thing I want to highlight is that there can be set different bounds for how it can be shared. So it can be either private to deliver inherent value in storage, or it can be shared with laboratory collaborators so that researchers can iterate internally, or of course it can be shared publicly with all the researchers in the world. Now, when you look at the data set, Parallax is designed in a way that the data is both discoverable and attributable. So you can see that every data set gets a unique digital object identifier, which means that data can become traceable and referenceable further. And similarly, because of very clear authorship attribution, other researchers can discover new collaborators and connect with scientists in their field. Now, we know it's in 2026, all of the interest in AI, and similarly in science, a lot of big companies are developing AI eco-scientists. However, those models are only as good as the data that they train on. And naturally, as you remember, with over 50% of data unavailable, are these models half as good as they can be? So Parallax is here to solve this problem and make these models more efficient so science can move forward faster. Now, our benchmark is going to be universities as customers, which are no strangers to spending a lot of money on subscription-based data infrastructure. As you can see, they've spent over about $2 billion yearly on journal access, and this is only published data. Parallax naturally delivers more value than that because it saves waste in terms of finances, money, time, anything that goes into redoing those experiments over and over. Now, right now, we have pre-alpha version complete based on the customer discovery that we have done extensively inside different departments, and our core platform is ready to launch. We are beginning AI implementation, and we hope that by the end of the summer, we'll be able to put our software into the hands of its first users, primarily in biomedical departments here at Yale. So the prize will help us do just that. Now, our team, both of us have worked at different laboratories performing research ourselves, and we are the team to build Parallax. Now, we hope that with your help, this will be possible. Thank you very much.
Hi, thanks for the presentation. I'm just slightly confused. What's the incentive for, say, the university? As in, you kind of highlighted it there, but, you know, I mean, obviously there's a reason why they publish in top-notch journals. That's obviously well known. Electronic lab notebooks exist, like Benchling and things like that in the biochemical world. So why would they pay for your service?
Yeah, absolutely. Because for universities, we're basically adding both of these together. So it's a way to publish and for researchers to get recognition for all the work they do, not only like positive data that ends up in the journals, but also to form collaborators and do collaborations inside the university. So university will see everything that's going on inside all of the departments and be able to connect that, as well as track the way that as finance is getting spent and there's no waste being produced. And similarly, it will drive science forward and make the repeated experiments lower as a proportion of what currently is being done.
I understand from like a macro level that'd be very good for science, but I'm thinking on the like micro level of an individual research group or, you know, why, you know, how are you going to convince them that this is the best thing for them to share their data in that kind of way as opposed to ring fencing it? And that's before we even get to like industry. Obviously, this is just university.
Sure. Yeah. So if we look at like more like smaller level of like researchers individually or research groups, currently researchers only get attribution for the work that they publish. If they're able to get attribution for the like 70% of work that they do, but never reaches anybody's eyes. Currently, they cannot include it in their resumes. They cannot include it really anywhere. If they can publish this work and then reference it further, this will be better for everybody's career availability and just like visibility of that work.
Great. Last question from the judges.
Thank you. Another question, how do you see the revenue streams for Parallax evolving? I think there's a few clear ones, but would just love your vision on that.
Yeah, so we are imagining a subscription-based model primarily is going to come from both university-based subscription. I mentioned, what I did not mention is that individual research groups would also be able to pay for this, like on their individual level, as well as like bigger collaborative groups, imagine like collaborative grants. Also, something I did not mention, probably when we get to like a larger level of data availability, like outsourcing that for model training would also be one of the streams, of course, with the agreement of all participating parties.